Well, UTC is trying to reduce violence in Chattanooga.
Well, they launched a research center housed within the university's criminal justice department. Cornelia Nicholson joins us now in the studio with what this center will do. Cornelia.
Cindy, David, UTC will work with law enforcement agencies to collect data to help form policy that will be effective in combating violent crime. It's called the Violence Reduction Initiative. The Violence Reduction Initiative is led by Dr. Rick Derenfeld, who is an associate professor at UTC and a former police officer. He says the idea for the initiative came from working with the Chattanooga Police Department on the Scenic City Crime Gun Intelligence Center.
Over the 3-year period, we saw a pretty drastic change in what the use of crime guns looked like. And that was all owed to the PD's adoption of that strategy. So crime guns, instead of being used in an average of 3 or 4 crimes, were being seized relatively quickly after their first known use in a crime.
Through the collaboration with the Chattanooga Police Department, Derenfeld says firearm homicides dropped 27%, overall homicides decreased 36%, and the number of shooting victims fell 42%. He says UTC's VRI will provide research support for what our local law enforcement agencies are doing in the field.
What that allows us to do is to actively assess over time whether what these agencies are doing is working. And if it is, fantastic. Keep on trucking. But if it's not, we should be able to determine through research and through data access and the partnerships that we have with those agencies, we should be able to determine what's not working, why it's not working, and more importantly, what can be done to fix it.
The VRI will be housed inside the university's criminal justice building. He says it's a secured space with military-grade encryption on their hard drives.
And many of the folks that work in the criminal justice program here have prior experience in the field. And that does, I think, ease those initial conversations that allow for that open dialogue between, our researchers and the current practitioners, because we're speaking the same language.
He says they're financially responsible for the initiative.
This year, we secured about $3 million in external funding.
Derenfeld says bridging academics and policy is the future of the criminal justice system.
This is how we win. It's working together, recognizing that all of us can bring something special to that problem as we develop a solution that's tailored to Chattanooga.
Well, Derenfeld says the research they produce will become public record so the community can see what's being done and see how well or poorly things are going through their research. Cindy, David.